Recently, I've been playing a lot of Braum. I consider myself a bit of a connoisseur at this point. I'm definitely not going to claim that everything I say is 100%. Like, I've not played thousands of games of Braum, so you never know. Maybe I could be wrong. Either way, I still am gaining ELO with the champion, and to be honest, you don't see many people playing him anymore, so maybe my playstyle is the way to go. As you've probably noticed, instead of heading to the bot lane, I've decided to go to the top lane. It's not something I do every game. It's very situational. In this game in particular, I'm going top A because I can see the matchup. It's Volibear versus Pantheon. Pantheon has gone to Ignite. He is definitely trying to get pressure. He's trying to kill the Volibear so he doesn't get snowballed. I know this. I'm a top laner. If you stop that snowball, he's in a lot of trouble. And part B, in the bot lane, we are versing a Janna and a Ziggs. This is a very safe lane. They're going to poke from a distance. When we engage, they're going to push us away. I'm also not worried about Twitch dying in these early levels. Ziggs and Janna don't have that kind of kill pressure, so I feel comfortable leaving them there alone. Because Volibear starts E and needs to clear the wave, I don't actually think we have kill pressure. And if he wasn't pathing towards this bush here, I wouldn't have even attacked him. I would have waited until they brought it out. But because he pathed into the bush, I start the assault, we take his flash, and then recall in the bush. I'm intentionally doing this. If I recall in the bush, Pantheon may still think that I'm in there. This means he's going to have to waste his ward to check or play passive and allow Volibear to push the wave in. Even though Pantheon doesn't die, that's still a massive win. Like, it slows down the Pantheon. We've chunked his health, he has to use all his potions, and now he's in this spot where he's lost his chance to potentially kill Volibear, and his momentum's immediately gone. And on the flip side, we haven't lost anything in the bot lane, right? Twitch actually has a level advantage now. The wave's still here for him to collect. Maybe he lost some gold, yeah. But look at the situation that it's created. The jungler has now path bot to help us, and this is only possible because of what we did. Twitch had to let the enemy slow push because he can't 2v1. That means the wave's pushing in our direction, which means the enemy bot lane is gankable. Unfortunately, it didn't go perfectly. I think we executed it kind of poorly, but on the plus side, we got a lot of summoner spells. And the wave is still in a terrible position for them. They're still pushing. If it's still pushing, they're still gankable. You can see Silas is waiting in the back for a repeat gank, which is really, really good. We need to take advantage of the fact that they no longer have summoner spells. Pay close attention to how I play this. I'm utilizing my shield to give me movement speed bonus, not to block damage abilities. And I use that to catch up to the Ziggs. I target him, not the Janna, because I know Janna has no summoner spells and she's already in kill range. Both enemies go down and none of us die. It is a perfect gank. Everything worked out and they were punished big time. Just wanted to quickly replay this last section and show you how I hold the last proc of my stun a lot of the times. It's not a perfect example here, but I'm holding it a little bit longer and trying to sync it up with Janna dying. Immediately after backing, I head straight to top lane just because of the wave positioning. Our wave is pushed in the top and Pantheon's overextended, and on vice versa, in the bot lane, Ziggs is pushed to his tower. So the best option for me is to try to get gold from top. Unfortunately, Volibear does push the wave and it kind of backfired because they invaded our blue, but that's hindsight, right? I quickly path over to the blue to try and cut them off. Silas ends up picking up a couple of kills. I mean, everything worked out great and our jungle is getting fed. And it's the same thing. Once I know Akshan is secured, I head towards the Janna. It doesn't play out, but I'm always trying to be one step ahead. This play right here was extremely greedy by the enemy bot lane. We literally just killed them at our blue. You know the jungle and me are like on your flank. I understand they want to push the wave in, but they're also Ziggs. They could be clearing that wave from so further back. I end up flash queuing to secure the slow onto Janna. She was trying to tornado us away. It's better to just secure it than risk some funny play happening. So far in this game, our jungler, the Silas, has been playing remarkably well, but this is his first mistake. He wants to get the dragon, and I make it clear that I'm not going. I path back. I still need both experience and to kill minions to get wards for the team. It's important that I go to lane here. He ends up dying to Akshan and blaming me. Realistically speaking, it's not my fault or my problem. Whenever I intend on roaming, I always pick up another control ward and I place it into a lane that I think is going to be vulnerable. So in this case, I placed it mid and then I head straight to the top lane. We no longer need Pantheon to be pushed. The way Volibear works, his ultimate disables the tower. All he needs is someone to engage. engage, someone to initiate for him, and he's going to be able to run through Pantheon, which he does with ease. Take a look at the difference in top lane now. There's a massive gap between Volibear and the Pantheon. This is all off the back of us roaming top constantly. Another perk of constantly roaming is the fact that the enemy thinks your ADC is all by himself. If you're never on the map, they're going to assume it's an easy dive, but because I'm syncing my roams with the waves, I show up in the exact moment they go for that dive, and we completely turn it around. They get hard punish. You can see that I utilize the exhaust just for the slow. I basically mentioned that because I want to tell you that taking exhaust on Braum is significantly better than ignite in my opinion. I'm gonna give you a random example here. Braum's got this unique ability to get caught and survive for way too long, eventually becoming this bait situation. It happens so frequently, and with that exhaust, it extends that period in which you look like a juicy target, and it always just works out better in my opinion. I highly recommend that you go the exhaust. At this point, you kind of can see the rhythm that I'm doing. Control ward, place ward, gank top, recall. Control ward, place ward, gank bot, recall. You see what I'm doing? Top, bot, top, bot. It's like synchronizing with the waves. In this case, they've finally caught on and they're trying to stop it. We peel backwards, and fortunately, they actually don't manage to kill any of us. It may seem like a loss, like we didn't get a kill, but this is actually a huge win for our team. They've just sent 3 people top committing for that and got absolutely nothing out of it. Completely stalled them. Our ADC picks up a kill. Our mid lane is getting platings and free farm, and they pretty much did nothing at all. Things start to get a little bit dicey for our team. Twitch engages onto the Ziggs. Unfortunately, the timing wasn't great. Lee Sin shows up, so I try to jump in front of the Twitch. It gets cancelled by Janus Tornado, and the Q ends up landing on him, which means we need a full abort. On the way out, I did not manage to juke the Lee Sin Q. I end up falling, and my team gets caught after. They could have run, but that's the way it went. If I had managed to dodge that Lee Sin Q, we probably would have been fine. Unfortunately, I didn't. We end up going to the mid lane, and they managed to catch the Twitch once again. At this point, momentum is definitely starting to shift in the enemy's favor, which isn't ideal. It's very fortunate that we found Lee Sin in our blue once again. I'd never worry about using my flash to engage. Once you've tagged the opponent with any of Braum's skills, they're pretty much a goner. I seem to do this quite frequently on Braum. Rather than standing next to the Volibear, I want the enemy to engage onto my tank. So you can see them thinking they have a 4v1, then I jump in, tag them with the slow. There's no escape. This starts a team fight, and we usually find success with it. I didn't show it here, but before every single objective, or even during team fights, you should be placing preemptive wards in every brush that you think they're going to enter. You can look at the map and see I've gotten wards in all of the crucial bushes, and this allows us to engage as soon as they show up for any objective. Even though that's fairly common knowledge, a lot of support mains don't tend to drop wards during team fights. They are too focused on protecting their ADC or whatever the gist is. It's so crucial to make sure you're warding the brushes around the team fights. And I don't necessarily only mean before team fights, I'm talking about during the team fight. You should also be anticipating where the team fight's gonna go. If you think they're running in a direction, you should have that bush warded before they even get in there. Twitch went for a cheeky engage, it didn't work, and I got pretty ambitious taking this pathing to go for wards. I ended up getting punished for it. There was a chance I could have escaped this. I was going for the plant bounce into a flash, but it killed me too quickly. We still end up profiting just because we're so far ahead. Fast forwarding, once I get back, I see a Janna run around the bushes, and then once again, they focus me, and I'm quote-unquote caught. They commit once again to try and kill the Braum, and it backfires. We get a couple of kills and pick up the Ocean Soul. Pantheon is caught out of position. We kill him. This leads into a free Baron. We reset, head back for our final push, and upon sieging, this is something I want you to pay note to. Notice how I'm playing a tank engage support, and I position myself well in front of my team. I even try to step away from my other tank. I'm trying to divide the enemy and push back their hyper carries. Anyone that can dish out damage, I want to push them back to allow my carries to move forward and damage the objective. I see a lot of supports sitting behind their carries and whatnot. This means that the enemy carries can hurt your carries while they're poking down objectives. You should be doing this as a top laner, even as a support. Push them back and allow your carries some space to damage the objective safely. Anyway, there you have it. That's my version of Braum. I hope you enjoyed it and learned something. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Y'all ain't on this level, bitches, Tilterella. Y'all can never beat them like an acapella. If you wanna laugh or cry,